Це можете розпочинати.
Добрий день, шановні колеги. Сьогодні 25 січня 2024 року, 10 година 00 хвилин. Дозвольте розпочати засідання спеціалізованої вченої ради. Відповідно до рішення вченої ради Сумського національного аграрного університету та наказом ректора за номером 656 К 24.11.2023 року у Сумському національному аграрному університеті утворено спеціалізовану вчену раду для прийняття до розгляду та проведення разового захисту дисертації Люй Мінчень на тему експериментальне дослідження патогенезу стрептококової інфекції свиней. Англійською мовою тема звучить Experimental Research of Pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection. На здобуття наукового ступеня доктора філософії з галузі знань 21 ветеринарія за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. Затверджений склад ради, голова ради. Нагорна Людмила Володимирівна, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор кафедри ветсанекспертизи, мікробіології, зоогігієни та безпеки і якості продуктів тваринництва Сумського національного аграрного університету, Міністерства освіти і науки України. Це я є присутньою. Рецензенти: Репенко Галина Іванівна, кандидат ветеринарних наук, доцент кафедри епізотології та паразитології Сумського національного аграрного університету, Міністерства освіти і науки України. Галина Іванівна, вітаю, ви присутні. Коваленко Лідія Михайлівна, кандидат ветеринарних наук, доцент кафедри анатомії нормальної та патологічної фізіології Сумського національного аграрного університету, Міністерства освіти і науки України. Лідія Михайлівна, ви присутні. Офіційні опоненти: Уховський Віталій Вікторович, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор, завідувач науково-дослідного епізотологічного відділу, Державний науково-дослідний інститут з лабораторної діагностики та ветеринарно-санітарної експертизи. Віталій Вікторович, вітаю, ви присутні.
Добрий день, так, присутній.
Айшкур Олена Євгенівна, доктор ветеринарних наук, старший науковий співробітник, завідувачка лабораторії бактеріальних хвороб тварин, Інститут ветеринарної медицини Національної академії аграрних наук. Олена Євгенівна, ви присутні?
Добрий день, присутня.
Посади членів спеціалізованої вченої ради вказані на дату захисту дисертаційної роботи. Прошу зареєструватися в реєстраційній картці, шановні рецензенти та опоненти. Отже, на підставі реєстраційної картки присутні всі 5 членів спеціалізованої вченої ради, затвердженої наказом ректора за номером 656 К від 24.11.2023 року у Сумському національному аграрному університеті. Кворум необхідний для засідання є, і ми маємо всі офіційні підстави для того, щоб розпочати засідання. Засідання спеціалізованої вченої ради оголошую відкритим. На порядку денному питання захисту дисертації на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії, аспіранта кафедри епізоотології та паразитології Сумського національного аграрного університету Люй Мінчень на тему експериментальне дослідження патогенезу стрептококової інфекції свиней. В англійському варіанті тема дисертації звучить наступно: Experimental Research of Pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection. З галузі знань 21 ветеринарія за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. Роботу виконано в Сумському національному аграрному університеті. Науковий керівник, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор, завідувач кафедри епізоотології та паразитології Сумського національного аграрного університету Міністерства освіти і науки України Касьяненко Оксана Іванівна. До спеціалізованої вченої ради надійшли наступні документи. Заява щодо проведення атестації здобувача. Копія першої сторінки паспорта громадянина Китайської Народної Республіки. Копія диплома магістра. Витяг з наказу про зарахування до аспірантури, засвідчений у встановленому порядку. Академічна довідка про виконання відповідної освітньо-наукової програми. Висновок наукового керівника професора Касьяненко Оксани Іванівни. Висновок про наукову новизну, теоретичне та практичне значення результатів дисертації. Дисертація в друкованому та електронному примірниках. Відбитки копій наукових публікацій, зарахованих за темою дисертації, які є засвідчені у встановленому порядку. Усі документи відповідають встановленим вимогам. Дисертація до захисту подається вперше. Хто за запропонований порядок денний, прошу голосувати. Хто за? Хто проти? Хто утримався? Всі члени спеціалізованої вченої ради за, проти і утримався немає. Пропозиція приймається. Дозвольте зачитати короткі біографічні дані аспіранта. Люй Мінчень народився 12 листопада 1980 року. Громадянин Китайської Народної Республіки, освіта вища. Закінчив у 2010 році Канадський сільськогосподарський університет Китайської Народної Республіки за спеціальністю основа ветеринарної медицини, агрономія магістр. Люй Мінчень was on November 12, 1980, citizen of the Republic of China, higher education, graduated from Henan Agricultural University, People's Republic of China, in 2009 with a major fundamental of veterinary medicine, agronomy and master. 1 жовтня 2019 року зарахований до аспірантури Сумського національного аграрного університету Міністерства освіти і науки України в місті Суми за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. Дисертацію виконано на кафедрі епізотології та паразитології у Сумському національному аграрному університеті Міністерства освіти і науки України в місті Суми. Тему дисертації затверджено в останній редакції на засіданні вченої ради Сумського національного аграрного університету протокол засідання номер 19 від 28 червня 2023 року. Люй Мінчень повністю завершив виконання освітньо-наукової програми у 2023 році, що повністю відповідає порядку підготовки здобувачів вищої освіти, доктора філософії в закладах вищої освіти та наукових установах. 5 жовтня 2023 року відбулася публічна презентація дисертаційного дослідження на кафедрі епізотології та паразитології за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина, на якій в дисертації було рекомендовано до розгляду та захисту у разовій спеціалізованій вченій раді. Основні положення дисертаційного дослідження викладені у 13 наукових працях, з них 5 статей у фахових виданнях України, 7 тест-доповідей на науково-практичних та молодіжних конференціях, 1 науково-практична рекомендація. Наукові публікації відповідають вимогам пунктів 8-9 порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої вченої ради закладу вищої освіти наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії, постанова Кабміну України від 12 січня 2022 року за номером 44. Дисертація відповідає вимогам наказу МОН України номер 40 від 12.01.2017 року про затвердження вимог до оформлення дисертації та порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої вченої ради закладу вищої освіти наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії. Постанова Кабміну України від 12 січня 2022 року за номером 44. Чи є питання у членів спеціалізованої вченої ради? Дякую, немає. Із здобувачем погоджено, що захист дисертації буде проводитися англійською мовою. Ніхто не буде заперечувати проти цього? Дякую. Для викладу основних результатів дослідження слово надається аспіранту Люй Мінчень. To present the main result of the research, the word is given to graduate student Мінчень Люй. You have 20 minutes for presentation, your scientific research or PhD thesis. Please share the screen.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Let's share the results of my scientific works in. Okay. connection our works with scientific topics plans. The work was carried out for the period from 2019 to 2023 at the Department of Episodology and Parasitology of Sumy National Agricultural University and the Henan Institute of Science and Technology. The scientific research work on the topic of the dissertation research was carried out in accordance with the priority directions. The scientific work, the dissertation work is carried out in accordance with the programs of research work of Sumy National Agrarian University. Topicality. Streptococcus cereus is an important zoonotic pathogen that can cause many diseases in pigs, such as sepsis, arthritis, endocarditis, and meningitis, of which meningitis is the most serious. There are 35 serotypes of, and serotype 2 is the most virulent. At the same time, Streptococcus serotype 2 can also infect humans, causing serious public health problems. Although series 2 has attracted great attention worldwide, the research on its pathogenesis is still limited. Streptococcus can cause pig's disease because it has lots of virulence. Some of virulence are traditional, but some of virulence are new types. No matter it's traditional or it's new type, they all play an important role for its causing disease. Just like SLY is traditional, and FNHB and SSADS, and these are all a new type of valence factors. Okay, when the bacteria cause disease, it will cause cell death. But when we talk about cell death, it includes several types. We can see it's necrosis and apoptosis and paroptosis. For the necrosis is generally cell death we talked about. But for the paroptosis, it's quite a new kind of cell death. So when we can see the mechanism of the paroptosis, when the bacteria or toxin or virus cause infect the host, maybe it will the immune system will start to work. So the inflammasome will form. So the inflammasome can active pro-caspase-1 to activate the pro-caspase-1 to make it into active caspase-1. The active caspase-1 can do two things. The first thing is it can cleave GSDMD into two parts, the N part and the C part, and the N part. The N part can make a pore on the cell membrane, can make a pore. And the active caspase-1 do another thing is can active pro interleukin 1 beta to interleukin 1 beta. So the active interleukin 1 beta can leak out from the pore, leak out the outside of the cell. Okay, that's the mechanism of the paroptosis. The purpose and objective of the study. The purpose of the research was to experimentally substantiate the pathogenesis of meningitis during streptococcal infection caused by serious serotype 2, based on the study in vitro pathogenetic processes of the paroptosis. Object research. Streptococcal infection, pathogenetic processes of the paroptosis. Subject of research of the brain microvascular endothelial cell, Streptococcus cereus 2, virulence factors of series 2, messenger mRNA, cytokines, the mechanism of paroptosis, morphological changes in infected cells, pathogenesis of serious infection. In order to achieve the main research goal, it was necessary to solve a number of interrelated tasks, just like to experimentally substantiate the use of brain microvascular endothelial cells for infection, to investigate the mRNA levels and the protein levels of cytokines secreted by the infected cells, or to confirm the pathogenesis of the meningitis of the streptococcal cells infection. Research scheme. One is experimentally substantiate the use of the brain microvascular endothelial cells for infection with SUS serotype 2, bacterial count, cell proliferation, and cell identification. Analyze the infection pathway of the brain microvascular endothelial cell by SUS serotype 2, multiplicity of infection duration. Investigate the mRNA levels and the protein levels of cytokines secreted by infected cells, reverse transcription, qPCR, and Western blot. 4. Determine of the protein content of cell supernatant, ELISA, and LDH. Okay, results of our research. Firstly, we do the bacterial content. For the bacterial content, there are several ways to do the bacterial content. But in this experiment, we build a new way to do the count. Okay, we the plate count we diluted the bacterial suspension into different gradient, and also we detect the absorbance of wavelengths in different wavelengths. Okay, and also at the same time we do the plate counting results. So that's the result and the optical density values of with different dilution at 4 wavelengths. First, this is at the wavelength of 415 nm. So that's the standard curve for the absorbance. And this is the standard curve for at the wavelength of 570 nm. And this is standard curve of 600 nm. And this is the standard curve of the 950 nm. Okay, compare the four different wavelengths. We get the best wavelength is 570 because the R squared is 1.999. It's very high. So, and use this wavelengths. We do the applications. We do 2 applications. Bacterial solution 1. We detect the OD values at the 570. So that's a result. This solution 2. And we do the plate counting result is this, and the curve calculation result is this. So the coincidence is more than 90 is this, and also this one. So no matter bacteria, these 2 applications tell us that the coincidence of this new way is very high, more than 95%. Okay, a calculation curve. Okay. Also, after that we do the preparation and the identification of the BMECS, brain microvascular endothelial cells. So we can see this is the shape of the cells. It's a filiform. The shape of the cell is filiform, and this one is the growth curve of the BMECS. We can see from 30 to 60, it goes very, very quickly. Okay, after that, we also need to do the identification to make sure this is what we want, to make sure it is microvascular endothelial cells. Okay, identification. We do that. We choose factor 8 as the factor 8 to identify it, because factor 8 is the character of this kind of cells. In fact, it's kind of coagulation factor. Factor 8 is a kind of coagulation factor. So we use immunofluorescence. We use no immunofluorescence to do the test. We use DAPI to stain the cells. So when you DAPI to stain this, the nucleus, when it was stained, the nucleus is blue, and the factor 8 is red. So also we do the merge to make sure they are at the same position. Okay, after that, we also need to do the screening of multiplicity of infection. It means we find the optimal infection dose. If it's too high or it's too low, it's not a good result. You can't get a good result. So we need optimize the condition. So firstly, we do the screening of the MOI, multiplier of infection. So we choose 4 MOI, 120 and 200. We can see at different MOI, the MI expression levels go to the peak at different times. Okay, this one is go to time is at 16 hours. This go to at we can see this when the MOI 100 is the highest of the levels of the expression is very high. We can see they are all more than 6, but here they are not quite less than 6. And also we need to make sure the infection time, bigger infection time. Also, we can from this program to get the infection times, and we can see this it goes to peak at the 18 hours, it goes to peak at the 12 hours, it goes to peak at the 12 hours, and this will go to peak at the 6 hours. Compared with the 4 diagrams, we make sure that 12 hours is the best infection times, and MO100 is the best MOI. And also, except we also do the LDH detection, LDH lactate dehydrogenase detections. Okay, we can see that 110, 100, and 200. From 1 to 100, it goes it increases very significantly. But after that, it didn't increase very quick, significantly. For the times from 6 to 12, it increases significantly. But after 12, it didn't increase very significantly. So we choose MOI is 100 and infection time is 12. Okay, after that we after making sure the conditions, we start to do the experiment. So we do the experimental groupings. Control group, we do the 4 groups. Control groups, lipopolysaccharide plus trifosfonate group, Streptococcus cereus group, and Streptococcus cereus plus CMK group. There are 4 groups. Multiplicity of infection is 100, and infection time is 12 hours. Okay. First one, we do the cell incubation, cell culture, and also we do we extracted the total RNA of the cells, and also do the reverse transcription to get the complete DNA. Okay, when we do the extraction of total RNA, we need to get the concentration, and also we need to do the test the OD values of the regions of OD values to make sure the RNA is very pure. Otherwise, it has a lot of contaminations of other things. Okay. This is after that. After we get the complementary DNA, so we can start to do the qPCR, fluorescence quantitative PCR detection. So we choose several genes: Caspase-1, interleukin 18, interleukin 1 beta, interleukin 6, interleukin 10, and interferon gamma. Okay, from this diagram, this picture, this diagram can see this is control group, and the LPS plus ATP group, and this is the SS2 group, and this is the SS2 plus CMK group. From this diagram, we can see that compared with the control group, the LPS group and the SS2 group are the levels of mRNA all increased very significantly, but also the SS2 plus CMK groups decreased significantly compared with the SS2 group. We can see. Okay, after that, we also need to do the Western blot detection on the protein levels to check the protein level. Okay, we choose GSDME, GSDMD, interleukin-1 beta, caspase-1, interleukin-1 beta, interleukin-18, and this is the reference GADPH. These are control groups. Okay, we can call, maybe we can't see it very we can't see it very clearly about this diagram. We can quantify into these two diagrams by some software. Okay, we can see interleukin-1 beta, caspase-1, GSDME, interleukin-1 beta, and GSDMD. We can see that from this diagram, we can see compared with the control group, the SS2 and the LPS plus ATP all increased very quickly, increased very significantly of the protein levels. And also for the SS2 plus CMK, it decreased very significantly compared with the SS2 group. So we can know that the protein levels of these genes increased very high, and also under the condition of CMK, the CMK play a good role to inhibit the secretion of these genes. Okay, after that, we also do the ELISA detections. We can see that ELISA detection also to detect the proteins of different genes, TNF-alpha, interleukin-1 beta, and we also compared with control group, the experimental group are increased very significantly, and also the CMK group are also decreased very significantly. Also, we do the LDH detections. We can see this is the two groups, and this is the control group, and this is the CMK group. They decreased very significantly, and the control group increased very significantly. After that, we also do the morphology of the cells, infected cells. So we need to use the electron microscope observation. So this is a control group, and this is the LPS plus ATP group. So we can see that the cell membrane break, and also the contents of the cell leak out. And this one also the cell membrane break and the cell contents leaked out. And this is the CMK group. It have no obviously character of apoptosis. Okay. Conclusion: the dissertation presents an experimental study of the pathogenesis of meningitis due to Streptococcus infection of pigs, based on the study of the pathogenetic processes of apoptosis for the expression of mRNA genes and proteins associated with apoptosis changes in the morphology of endothelial cells of the microvascular of the brain of white mice during infection with SUS serotype 2. 1. Brain microvascular endothelial cells were identified as infection objects of Streptococcus. The self-made cells were identified by immunofluorescence as mouse brain microvascular endothelial cells. 2. The condition for SS2 to infect brain microvascular endothelial cells were exploited, and the optimal number of infection was established as 100 to 1. The best duration of the is 12 hours. It's 12 hours. And the conclusion 3: the mRNA expression levels of various cytokine SUS2 group and the LPS plus ATP group were significantly higher than those in control group, while the mRNA expression levels of various cytokines in SUS2 plus inhibitor group were significantly lower than those in SUS2 group. Protein levels of apoptosis-related genes in SUS2 group and plus LPS plus ATP group were significantly higher than those in control group, while the protein levels of apoptosis-related genes in SUS2 plus CMK group were significantly lower than those in SUS2 group. 4. ELISA test showed that protein content in cell in supernatant in SUS2 group was significantly higher than that in control group, whereas protein levels in SUS plus CMK group was significantly lower than those in SUS2 group. Under the electron microscope, the cell membrane of SLS infected cells were broken and the cell shrunk, and the cell content was leaked out. Compared with the above result, it can be concluded that paraptosis occurred during SLS2 infection with brain macrovascular endothelial cells. The results of the study confirmed that during the bacterial infection, the cell was scorched. It was established for the first time that paraptosis is involved in the infections. Production proposals on the basis of the research method. Okay, we recommend use the material of the dissertation work when studying the course, and we recommend the study of paraptosis can provide an in-depth understanding of the pathogenesis of porcine meningitis, provide new ideas for the clinical prevention and treatment of meningitis, and provide a theoretical basis. This is the publications. According to the results of research, 30 scientific papers were published, according 5 journal articles in professional editions of Ukraine, 7 conference articles, 1 is scientific and practical recommendations. Okay. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for presentation, Люй. Доповідь доповідача завершена. Прошу задавати запитання. The report is complete. Please ask questions. Please, Галина Іванівна, what you ask.
Люй Мінчень, please
Yes.
tell us, all of us are interested in why you have chosen this topic of investigation. Because it's very interesting.
Okay.
Topic. Why exactly this
Yes.
topic was chosen?
Yes. Why do I choose this topic, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Streptococcus series is a quite popular bacteria, and also it can cause a very serious problem, not just for pig, also for people, and also the traditional the research about this bacteria is always focused on the isolation and detection, and how to isolate this bacteria, how to identify it, and also how to prevent it. But all of this still maybe about the paraptosis, about the pathogenesis of this of the meningitis is still very limited, and very limited, and also know much about this kind of research, especially from the perspective of the paraptosis. So that's why I started to do the research to just to in order to find the pathogenesis or find the mechanism for the disease from the perspective of paraptosis. Okay, that's it.
Thank you. May I ask next question, please? Describe, please, the episodical situation of Staphylococcus suis in China.
Okay. In China, in the more intensive big farm, maybe there no Streptococcus series disease, because they do a great program, a prevention program. So then, but for the little size pig farm, which is means less than 500 sows pig farms, maybe still have some this kind still have some this disease, and also especially in the south of China, because it's the climate, the humidity is very high in south of China, so still have this disease, and also in the rural area. But no matter whatever it exists, where it exists, when they have the symptom, they all do the accurate treatment for it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Галина Іванівна, are you satisfied?
Absolutely. I'm satisfied. Thank you.
Okay. Please, Lydia Mikhailova, you question.
Thank you. Please mention answer the question. One question, what is different between paraptosis and apoptosis?
Okay, thanks for your question. The difference between apoptosis, there are two types of cell death. Or we can see there are two types of programmed cell death. The apoptosis, when the apoptosis, the cell membrane will broke, and also the will broke, and the contents of the cell will leak out. Also, when apoptosis occur, the always have the inflammation, and for the apoptosis, the cell shrink, but the cell membrane is intact. It doesn't break, and also the apoptotic body will form. When we see it under the electron microscope, we can see it, the apoptotic form, apoptotic body. Okay, that's my answer.
Thank you. Next question. What are the way in which cells die during streptococcal infection?
What's the other way to do cell what?
Cells die during streptococcal infection.
Cell, when you do the cell infection, will cause the cell death. When we talk about cell death, there are three types. The first one is necrosis. Necrosis is a very common. It's not it's very common. It's generally cell death. But except that, there are also another two types. The first one is apoptosis. Apoptosis, lots of research have found it that and also that paraptosis, that is what we talked today. And the paraptosis is a kind of new kind of cell death. It's involved in a lot of disease, especially for the human disease. Okay, that's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question answer. Why did you choose endothelial cells of brain microorganisms for the experiment?
Why do I choose this cell, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because the cervical series can cause meningitis. We know that the most serious problem of this bacteria is the meningitis, and the mechanism of the meningitis is the SS2 break through the blood-brain barrier and also enter the central nervous system. So, but under this kind of cell, the cells, BMEC, the cells is the main component of the blood-brain barrier. So that's why we research about, we choose this cell to do the research work. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
That's my answer.
Lydia Mihайловna, your satisfaction with us? I am satisfied. Thank you. Yes. Please, Vitaly Viktorovich, you ask question.
Thank you. Please, Mincheng, answer the question. Please tell me why you focused on the pathogenesis Streptococcus suis in your work. Pathogenesis, I mean.
Sorry, I didn't hear you very well. Sorry, can you speak it again?
Tell me why you focused on the pathogenesis Streptococcus suis in your work.
Okay, yes. Oh, yes. Just I said about this bacteria, this Streptococcus series. There are lots of research about the is always a focus on the isolation and identification, and also some of them, and also some others do the prevention program for this disease. But but all this is useful. Yes, it's useful, but still can't resolve this problem. Can't from the basis from resolve this disease basically. So and also there a lot of other research about this disease, but they are not very basically. So we do the research about pathogenesis to just want to know the mechanism of mechanism of this disease, especially from the perspective of paraptosis. So we just want to try to provide a theoretical and scientific basis for this disease and for the drug development and for the vaccine development to provide help. Okay, that's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next question is, do you plan to conduct future research on other Streptococcus species?
Yes, we will continue to do the research about the Streptococcus series 2, and also what we do is very little part, still lots of bigger work needed to do to explore. But we need also do the mechanism for human cells and to do the comparison between the human and the tools, and also to do the research about the paraptosis and ferroptosis and cell and also some other kind of cell death, and to find the relationship between them. Okay, that's my answer.
Thank you.
Vitaly Viktorovich, are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, thank you. I'm satisfied. Yes.
Okay, дякую. Please, Olena Evgeniyevna, you ask a question to postgraduate students.
Yes, thank you. Люй Мінчень, answer my question. The first question, what are the precautions during cell culture?
Okay, when we do the cell culture, firstly we should get when we get the stuff we need, we get enough stuff ready. Otherwise, you will frequently enter the room and go out the room, enter the room. It will increase the contamination crisis. And also, we also need to get everything we use to make sure everything we use is disinfected. Because when we do the cell culture, the biggest problem is the contamination, because the cell is need the the condition of the cell growth is very high. So the bigger problem is the contamination. So we must do disinfect all the stuff that we use in the cell culture. And also we need to check the cell growth every day, at least once every day, to make sure it grows very well. If you didn't check it for 2 or 3 days, maybe when you check it, oh, it's the cell all dead. So we must check it at least once per day. Once it has a problem, we can take some measures to solve it. Okay, that's my answer.
Okay, thank you. And the next question, what are the method for counting bacteria?
Okay. For the counting bacteria, there are several types. There are 4 types. There firstly is the bacterial counting plate. It's just like we do the blood. We do just same as the blood cell plate. We drop the bacterial suspension into the sink and calculate 1, 2, 3. We use that little machine to calculate. And also the second way is we use a kind of tube to compare with the bacterial suspension, to compare with it, to do the comparison. And the third one is the spectrophometers. That's not very useful. The third one is the following is the platelet colony count. That's the most popular way we do it. We diluted the bacterial solution, but diluted the bacteria suspensions, and then do the plate and do the plate counting into the diluted and do the plate counting. That's the most popular way. And also in this research, we developed a new way, is a calculation curve. It's also quite useful and also very quick. Okay, that's my answer.
Thank you.
Олена Єлена, are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, I am satisfied. Thank you.
I also have a few questions, Luy. Please, Luy, briefly describe the scientific knowledge of your dissertation research.
Sorry.
Briefly describe the scientific knowledge of your dissertation research.
Describe the scientific novelty, right? Yes. Okay.
Please.
The novelty, I think, for my experiment is I do the research. I'll do the pathogenesis of meningitis from the perspective of paraptosis, because they also a lot of research about this meningitis, but they do some pathogenetics, but they just from the perspective of the necrosis or some other very normal perspective, normal perspective on all this for the in this research, because paraptosis is quite new founded cell death. It's so not so many the research about it for the meningitis. So I just do the research, do the paraptosis from the research of pathogenesis from the perspective of paraptosis. So it provides us a new point or a new different point to understand this disease, to understand this disease, and to find the different ways to treat this disease. Okay, that's my answer.
Thank you. And next, second question. Briefly explain the practical significance of the results of dissertation research.
Okay, the significance, the result of the theoretical and experimental studies provide a scientific basis for SS2 to break through the blood-brain barrier and escape the herd immunity, and also it's helpful to carry out the accurate and targeted drug screening and vaccine development for meningitis. That's the mainly novelty, I think. Thank you.
Thank you. Немає нікого більше питань? Дякую. No more question? Thanks. Дозвольте мені ознайомити присутніх з висновком про наукову новизну, теоретичне та практичне значення результатів дисертації. Let me choose present with the conclusion about the scientific knowledge, theoretical and practical significance of the result of this. Дисертаційна робота Люй Мінчень виконана на актуальну тему, оскільки стрептококус суїс є зоонозним збудником, також він є етіологічним чинником стрептококової інфекції у свиней і характеризується розвитком сепсису, артриту, ендокардиту та менінгіту. Актуальним залишається питання дослідження патогенетичного процесу загибелі клітин, що нерозривно пов'язаний із захворюванням. Науково-дослідна робота виконана згідно згідно пріоритетного напрямку, визначеного постановою Кабміну України від 2021 року, науки про життя, нові технології профілактики та лікування найпоширеніших захворювань. Дисертаційна робота виконана відповідно до програм науково-дослідної роботи Сумського національного аграрного університету. Вона має беззаперечно науково-новизну і теоретичне значення, оскільки висвітлює наукове і експериментальне обґрунтування патогенезу менінгіту за стрептококової інфекції свиней на основі дослідження патогенетичних процесів піроптозу через експресію mRNA-генів бактеріального патогена стрептококус суїс-2, пов'язаних з піроптозом, експресією білка та змін клітинної морфології, культури ендотеліальних клітин, мікросудин головного мозку мишей за інфікування стрептококус суїс серотипу 2. Програма і методика досліджень добре опрацьовані дисертантом, одержані результати дослідження, наукові положення, висновки і рекомендації ґрунтуються на працях різних, в тому числі зарубіжних авторів. Вони підтверджені статистичною обробкою, результати дослідження, які викладені в дисертації, обґрунтованими і достовірними. Розглянувши дві подібності щодо перевірки на плагіат та наявність текстових запозичень, рецензенти дійшли висновку, що дисертаційна робота Люй Мінчень Experimental Research on Pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection є результатом самостійних досліджень здобувача і не містить елементів плагіату та запозичень. Використані ідеї, результати і тексти інших авторів мають посилання на відповідні джерела. Структура дисертації є методологічно обґрунтованою і логічною. Дисертація написана і оформлена згідно з нормативними вимогами. Стиль викладу і аналізу проміжних і кінцевих результатів досліджень і висновки є обґрунтованим на теоретичному і методологічному рівнях. Висновки дисертації є обґрунтованими, логічно пов'язаними із процесом поетапного виконання завдань і реалізації мети дослідження. Таким чином, представлена дисертація є завершеною науковою роботою та повністю відповідає всім вимогам, що висуваються до дисертації на здобуття наукового ступеня доктора філософії зі спеціальності 211 ветеринарна медицина. Дисертаційна робота Люй Мінчень Experimental Research on Pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection, яка подана до захисту спеціалізованої вчену раду на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії з галузі знань 21 ветеринарія за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина, за своєю актуальністю, науково-теоретичним рівнем, основними результатами обґрунтованості, основними положеннями, результатами опублікованими у фахових виданнях, новизною постановки та практичним значенням відповідає вимогам наказу МОН України номер 40 від 12 січня 2017 року про затвердження вимог до оформлення дисертації та постанови Кабміну від 12 січня 2022 року 44 про затвердження порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої вченої ради закладу вищої освіти наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії із змінами, внесеними згідно постанови Кабінету міністрів за номером 341 від 21 березня 2022 року. Зміст дисертації відповідає паспорту спеціальності. Відповідно, можемо вважати, що дисертаційна робота Люй Мінчень Experimental Research on Pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection, подана на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії за своїм науковим рівнем та практичною цінністю, змістом та оформленням повністю відповідає вимогам наказу МОН України від 20 січня 2017 року про затвердження вимог до оформлення дисертацій та постанови Кабміну України від 12 січня 2022 року за номером 44 про затвердження порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої вченої ради закладу вищої освіти наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії із змінами, внесеними згідно постанови Кабінету міністрів України 341 від 21 березня 2022 року та відповідає напрямку наукового дослідження освітньо-наукової програми Сумського національного аграрного університету зі спеціальності 211 ветеринарна медицина. Дозвольте розпочати обговорення заслухованої сьогодні дисертаційної роботи Мінчень Люй. We begin the discussion of the dissertation work by Мінчень Люй. Запрошую до виступу шановного рецензента Ревенко Галину Іванівну.
Thank you. Thank you, Людмила Володимирівна. I was a reviewer of this dissertation and let me read the review. Review provided by the official reviewer, Galina Rybenko, Doctor of Philosophy in Veterinary Science, Associate Professor in Sumy National Agrarian University, and the dissertation done by Mincheng Liu, entitled Experimental Research of the Pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection, submitted for the attainment for scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge, 21st veterinary medicine, specialty veterinary medicine as well. The relevance of the dissertation tool. Pig farming is one of the most widespread agricultural sectors in the world, allowing the relatively short-term conversion of plant feed raw material into high-quality food products containing animal protein and lipid. The susceptibility of pigs to pathogen with zoonotic potential, such as Streptococcus suis, created a problem in the in-depth study of the pathogenesis of changes occurring in the presence of the pathogen and its virulence factors within the cells of an infected organisms, particularly the mechanism of cell death by pyroptosis. This mechanism has been studied in brain disease in humans. Therefore, clarifying specific stages of pyroptosis during meningitis caused by Streptococcus suis in pigs will enhance the understanding of this issue and expedite the search for ways to restrain the destruction of nerve cells and thus prevent the progression of degenerative diseases of central nervous system. Consequently, the result of the scientific research presented by Mincheng Liu dissertation, titled Experimental Research on Pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection, remain relevant. Connection with scientific topics. As we have heard, the work is related to the research teams of Sumy National Agrarian University and Henan Institute of Science and Technology. These dissertation materials are part of the research of work of Sumy National Agrarian University, optimization of a set of measures to prevent the emergence and spread of infectious animal diseases in farms of the northern region of Ukraine. Scientific novelty and theoretical significance of the dissertation. The researcher has worked on applying the cell culture of brain endothelium under different infection schemes of Streptococcus suis type 2, which is pathogenic for humans as well. This includes selecting a dose of infection to obtain an optimal process regarding speed, RNA expression, and interleukin release. For the first time, the dissertation determined the levels of proteins and genes related to pyroptosis and captured images for cell pyroptosis stages using an electron microscope. Practical importance of the dissertation results. The study aims by determining the details of the pathogenesis of pyroptosis in cells in infected Streptococcus suis life systems and access to the efficacy of pyroptosis inhibitors. Therefore, the results can be used in the development of means to prevent pathological changes in the brain during similar processes, maybe in human as well. The remaining results obtained personally by the authors. The author of the dissertation personally conducted an extensive analysis of literature sources on the subject matter and summarized the gathered information. Specifically, potential use of infected Streptococcus suis cells from brain macrovessels and endothelium cultured cells was identified as a model for studying the pathogenesis of pyroptosis in this infection. The candidate acquired the technique of cultivating this culture, determined the doses and methods of infection to achieve an optimal rate for the study of occurring changes. By employing modern methods such as electron microscopy, enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay, Western blot, radioimmunoprecipitation, and quantitative PCR, the candidate researched the levels or concentration of secreted proteins functioning as cytokines in response to the pathogenicity factors of Streptococcus suis and the role of caspase inhibitor, YVAD, SMK, in suppressive pyroptosis and the associated inflammation. During the authenticity assessment for the dissertation, an analysis was conducted to verify the work for plagiarism, checking for the text borrowing using the Strike plagiarism program. Based on this analysis, the conclusion was reached that Mincheń-Lu's dissertation on the topic experimental research on pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection is the result of independent research by the candidate and does not contain elements of plagiarism or text borrowings as per the decision of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine dated 12th of January 22nd year, number 44, paragraph 9. Ideas, results, and texts of other authors used have proper citations to the respective sources. Quantity of scientific publications. The research findings presented in the dissertation have been published in 13 scientific works, including one article in publication indexed in the International Scienceometric Database, Web of Science especially, 4 articles in scientific professional publications in Ukraine, 7 conference paper abstracts in collections of conference material, including 1 publication in a periodic scientific publications of EU members states, Estonia, and 1 scientific practical recommendation. The main points of the dissertation were reported and discussed at the meetings of the Academic Council at the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Summa National Agrarian University during 2019-2022 years. Remarks and wishes regarding to content. This dissertation is formatted according to the requirements. The candidate's research results are presented in English with a Ukrainian abstract, but the dissertation text contains fragments that are challenging to comprehend. Additionally, there is a desire to further describe in text all the results represented in tables and graphs. The noted remarks mainly concern the presentation format of the materials or have an editorial nature without affecting the scientific essence of the dissertation. Issues requiring additional clarification during the defense of the dissertation work, let me read it. Using of mouse tissues for scientific research is generally accepted, but have you considered studying pyroptosis in pig cell cultures? First, my question then. What is the purpose of making the groups lipopolysaccharide and ATP-infected cells? And last question is it possible to use the results of your research on the inhibitory role of the caspase inhibitor SMK in the pathogenesis of pyroptosis to prevent the development of meningitis due to swine streptococcus caused by Streptococcus suis type 2, maybe in human? Relevance of the dissertation to speciality and profile of the council. The dissertation of Mincheń-Lu on the topic experimental research on pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection submitted for defense to the specialized academic council for the doctoral degree in the field of knowledge in veterinary medicine under the specialty veterinary medicine in terms of its relevant scientific theoretical level, main substantiate results, fundamental provisions and results published in professional publications, novelty of the statements and practical significance meets the requirements of the order of the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine, number 40 of January 12, 2017, on approval of the requirements for dissertation formatting, and the resolution of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine on approval of the procedure for awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and cancellation of a one-time specialized academic course or decisions of an institution for higher education, scientific institution on awarding to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, as amended according to the Cabinet of Ministers resolution number 341 of March 21st, 22nd year. The dissertation content corresponds to the specialties passport. Reviewer, PhD in veterinary medicine, Associate Professor Галина Ребенко. Thank you.
Дякую. Наразі надається можливість відповісти на зауваження здобувачу. Люй, you are given to opportunity to respond to comments that have been posted in the reviews review.
Okay, yes, there are 3 questions I need answered, right?
Yes.
Okay, the first question, using mouse tissue for scientific research is generally accepted, but have you considered studying process in pig cell culture? Okay, my answer is because Streptococcus cereus is a zoonotic disease. So under the result, what we did, maybe we'll apply to the human eventually, and also the genetic sequence of our mice is very similar to the human, and also 99% of the genes our mice have the equivalent in humans. So if we use the pig cells, maybe we still need we'll go back to the mice, go back to the mice. So that's why we choose the mice cells instead of pig cells. Okay, that's my answer for the first question. Question 2, what's the purpose of making the group LPS plus ATP infected cells? Okay, this group of LPS plus ATP is for the positive control group, because lots of studies have found that LPS plus ATP can cause peroptosis in many cells, just like macrophages, intestinal epithelial cells, and some other cells in human. So we set it as a positive control. And question 3. Is it possible to use the results of your research on the inhibitory of the hospital to prevent the development of meningitis to swine streptococcus caused by Okay. Lots of research
І що чекаємо, що повинен підключитися. Чекаємо доєднання здобувача. Може, ще ж не лічить.
Попросимо відповідь на третє питання. Я ж не почула. Тобто це не обмежений час. Це щось зв'язком.
Їх побиває, вони знову включають. Я ж тільки не бачу, що вони на екрані.
Мінчень, internet connection
Yes.
was unstable. Please repeat last your answer. Without question, only answer.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Last question. Yes.
Last
Okay.
question, yes.
Okay. Is it possible to use the result of your research on the inhibitory role of the caspase inhibitor CMK in the pathogenesis of purptosis to prevent the development of meningitis due to swine streptococcus caused by Streptococcus cereus type 2? Okay, my answer is because lots of studies have found that the CMK can only affect the expression of inflammatory factors at the cell levels. It's not enough for CMK to stop meningitis. For the Streptococcus cereus infection, the vaccination prevention is still the mainly way to stop it, to prevent it. Okay, that's my answer.
Thank you.
Галина Ивановна, are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, I'm satisfied, thank you.
Слово надається шановному рецензенту, доценту Лідії Михайлівні Коваленко.
Thank you.
Please. Официальный reviewer Лидия Коваленко, кандидат of veterinary science, associate professor, dissertation Люй Мінчень on the topic experimental research on the pathogenesis of Streptococcus fluid infection. Submitted to the obtained is the educational and scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 21 veterinary medicine in the specialty 211 veterinary medicine. 1. Relevance of the dissertation topic. The Streptococcus infection of pigs is registered in pig farms of Ukraine, the People's Republic of China and other countries of the world. 2. Connect with scientific topic. The material of the dissertation research is part of comprehensive scientific research of the Department of Epizootiology and Parasitology, Faculty of Veterinary Medicine of the Soma National Agrarian University. Experimental research on the topic for the dissertation was conducted in the period from 2019 to 2023 at the Department of Physiology and Parasitology of the Sumy National Agrarian University. The dissertation is a fragment of the research program of the National Natural Science Foundation of China project of the development of young talents of Henan province. Three, scientific novelty and theoretical significance of the dissertation. The main scientific result of the research with respect to the scientific novelty of the dissertation work are an experimental study of the pathogenetic processes of the development of meningitis to streptococcal infection of pig. The following new scientific results were obtained in the dissertation: the pathogenesis of meningitis and investigated from the point of parasitosis. The practical significance of the result of the dissertation. Люй Мінчень dissertation presents the rationale for the prevention and the treatment of Streptococcus infection based on the use of the targeted drugs and the development of a new vaccine. The research results presented in the dissertation are well-founded and reliable. The main provisions of the dissertation were included in the scientific and practical recommendation, streptococcal suis infection, etiology, epidemiology, laboratory diagnosis, prevention and treatment. Providing the meeting of the Academic Council of the Sumy National Agrarian University, Protocol number 18 of May 29, 2023. The main result of the dissertation work were implemented in the educational processes during the teaching of the disciplines epizootiology and infectious diseases, veterinary technologies for the prevention of infectious diseases of animals. As a Department of Epizootiology and Parasitology in the training of specialists with degree of highly educated master from specialty 211 veterinary medicine at Sumy National Agrarian University. 5. The main result obtained personality by the author. The author with the scientific supervisor, Doctor of Veterinary Science, Professor Oksana Katsyanenko, the determined task of the work, subdentite research program, analyzed the obtained result. 6. Number of scientific publications. The main provision of the dissertation research are covered in certain scientific works, including 540 articles in specialized scientific publications, 7 publications of an abbreviation nature, 2 of which the publish and publication of foreign countries, 1 scientific and practical recommendation. 7. Remarks and wish of the content. The dissertation submitted of review is written in English in accordance with the current requirements of the Minister of Education and Science of Ukraine and includes all necessary sections. Well, given a general height rating to Люй Мінчен's dissertation work, it is necessary to point out the identified individual shortcomings When writing a dissertation, stylistic, such as the description of research results were noted. However, about mentioned remarks are not fundamental and do not reduce the overall positive assessment and scientific significance of Люй Мінчен's dissertation work. But correspondent of the specialty is the profile of the consul. Dissertation work of Мінчень on the topic experimental research on pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection. This was submitted of defense to the specialized scientific council for obtaining the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 21 veterinary medicine in the specialty 211 veterinary medicine. According to its relevance, scientific and theoretical levels, the main result of validate the main provisions and result published in professional publication, the novelty of the formulation and the practical significance meets the requirements of the order of the Minister of Education and Sons of Ukraine. The connect of the dissertation correspondent to the passport of the specialty. And thank you. Оскільки зауважень рецензента немає, то дозвольте продовжити засідання. Because the review has not comment to allow the meeting to continue. Наразі запрошую до виступу офіційного опонента, шановного Польського Віталія Вікторовича. Прошу.
Дякую. Dear colleagues, the review of official opponent has been published on the official website of the SUMI NAU. I want to note the relevance of the topic, scientific novelty, publication and discussion questions regarding the dissertation work. Relevance of the topic of the dissertation. In today's condition, among the causative agent of bacterial disease in pigs, the role of pathogenic microorganisms, namely Streptococcus, is increasing. Streptococcus suis is a zoonotic pathogen that causes disease such as meningitis, pneumonia, endocarditis, polycerasitis, arthritis, septicemia, and abortion in pigs. A significant number of pigs in China's pig farms suffer from streptococcal infection. The infection is also registered in Ukraine and other countries of the world. The dissertation work is devoted to an extremely urgent problem of today, namely the experimental study of the pathogenesis of streptococcal infection in pigs, and is an important stage in the development of strategy to control streptococcal infection caused by Streptococcus suis. Scientific novelty of the obtained results. The following new scientific results we obtained in the dissertation. It was theoretically and experimentally established for the first time that pertussis is involved in the pathogenetic process of developing meningitis due to streptococcal infection of pigs caused by Streptococcus suis. The use of culture of endothelial cells of brain microvessels for infection with Streptococcus suis serotype 2 was extremely substantiated in vitro experiments. A study was conducted to determine the effectiveness of various schemes of infecting the cell's culture with the zoonotic bacterial pathogen Streptococcus suis type 2. The optimal multiplicity of infection was screened, and the time and dose of infection of the endothelial cells of microvessels of the brain with the pathogen Streptococcus suis 2 was determined experimentally. For the first time, he conducted a study of genes related to pyroptosis based on the extraction of total RNA. from an infected culture of cells of endothelial microvessels of the brain of white mice and a subsequent transcription into complementary DNA. The content of proteins in the supernatant of infected cells was determined experimentally. Molecular genetic methods for detection cytokines released by infected cells were experimentally developed. For the first time, he investigated the stage of pyroptosis development in endothelial cells of brain microvessels infected with Streptococcus suis. With the help of an electron microscope, morphological changes characteristic of pyroptosis were established. For the first time in the Streptococcus suis infected culture of endothelial cells of brain microvessels. Completeness of presentation of dissertation materials in scientific publication. Based on the materials of dissertation, 13 scientific works were published, including 5 articles in specialized scientific publication of Ukraine, 7 theses of reports in collection of conference material, 1 scientific and practical recommendation. Discussion clauses and remarks to the dissertation. Given a general assessment of the dissertation work, Люй Мінчень, one should point of the identified individual shortcomings, inconsistencies, and also ask some detailed questions that needed clarification. Evaluating this work of Люй Мінчень positively, I consider it's necessary to express some remarks and discussion questions, as well as to point out some identified shortcomings. First, it is recommended to show with the arrow the morphological changes in cells at different stages of pyroptosis established by electron microscopy in the photos 3.25, 3.26, 3.27, and 3.28. which are described in the dissertation work. 2. The test contains the abbreviation SS2, page 19.4. Photos 3.16, 3.17, 3.18, 3.19, 3.12, 3.21, 3.22, 3.23, 3.24, etc. It would be right S.suis2. 3. The abbreviation SSU methods on page 112 is not included in the list of conditional abbreviations. 4. The name of pathogen against S.suis2 should be highlighted in italic front on page 115. 5 is the question. In the course of bacterial infection, how to determine the infection dose and infection time? And 6 is the next question. How do you select the genes to be tested? General conclusion. Люй Мінчень thesis, experimental research on pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection, which was submitted for defense to the specialized academic council for obtaining the degree Doctor of Philosophy in field 21 veterinary in the specialty 211 veterinary medicine according to its relevance, scientific and theoretical level. The main results of validity, the main provision and result published in professional publication, the novelty of the statement and practical significance meets the requirements of the order of the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine, number 40 of January 12, 2017, on approval of requirements for the preparation of a dissertation and the resolution of Cabinet Ministers of Ukraine on January 12, 2022, number 44, on approving the procedure for awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and canceling the decision of the one-time specialized academic council of the higher educational institute, scientific institution on awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, with the changes introduced in accordance with the resolution of Cabinet of Ministers number 341, date 21 March 2022. Thank you.
Дякуємо. Наразі надається можливість відповісти на зауваження, які були викладені у відгуку офіційного опонента, шановного здобувача. Люй, you are given to opportunity respond to comments that have been posted in the review. Please.
Okay. The first question, in the course of bacterial infection, how to determine the infection dose and the infection time? Okay, in order to get the best conditions, so I set the different OMOI. They are 110, 100, and 200. General rule is that with the expression increase, general rule is that the expression of the cytokines increase with the increase of the dose of MOI infection dose, but the trend is not obviously after when the infection dose when the infection dose exceeds 100. So we set the 100 as the best MOI, and also under the condition of 100 MOI, we found that expression level of cytokines increased with the infection time, with the extension of the infection time. But when the time is more than 12 hours, this trend is not obviously again. So though we set the 12 hours as the infection time. So that's the answer of my question. That's the answer for this question. Okay, question 2. How do you select the genes to be tested? Okay, as I mentioned before, that the pyroptosis, when pyroptosis occur, they also have there is the inflammation. So when we choose the genes to be tested, they must be related to the inflammation. So we choose the interleukin 6, interleukin 10, interleukin 18, interleukin 1 beta, and interferon gamma, and tumor necrosis alpha. And so these genes are closely related to the inflammation, especially for the interleukin 18 and interleukin 1 beta. The two genes are the character of the pyroptosis. So that's why we choose these genes. But at the same time, we also detect several other genes which is also related to the pyroptosis, like GSDMD and GSDME. Okay, that's the answer for the second question. Thank you.
Dear Vitaly Viktorovich, are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, I'm satisfied.
Okay. Слово надається для виголошення відгуку шановному офіційному опоненту Айшпур Олені Євгенівні. Прошу вас.
Thank you. Dear members of the Academic Council and Philosophy Doctor student, the conclusion is presented on the official website, so I present the main provision of the review. Response official opponent of Ashpur Olena for Luy Мінчень. Thesis, experimental research on pathogenic of Streptococcus suis infection, sublimated for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy from the field of the knowledge 21 veterinary in the specialty 211 veterinary medicine. Pig farming is one of the modern areas of animal husbandry and the competitive type of agribusiness. Infections, diseases cause satisfacts, economic losses from reduced productivity and death of pigs. Among the causative agents of bacterial diseases in pigs, the role of pathogenic and opportunistic microorganisms is increasing dramatically. Streptococcus suis is a zoonotic pathogen that causes diseases such as meningitis, pneumonia, endocarditis, polycerasitis, arthritis, suffer from streptococcus septicemia and abortion in pigs. A satisfying number of pigs in Chinese pig farm suffer from streptococcal infection. The infection is also registered in Ukraine and other countries of the world. In recent years, the incidence rate of streptococcal meningitis has shown a significant upward trend. Due to its widespread spread, the causative agent of swine streptococcus, Streptococcus suis, is becoming increasingly resistant to antibiotics. The danger of introducing pathogenic strains into the farms calls for constant monitoring of these diseases and effective several therapeutic measures. Scientific novelty of the obtained results. The following new scientific results were obtained in this thesis. It was theoretically and experimentally established for the first time that pyroptosis is involved in the pathogenic process of developing meningitis due to streptococcal infection of pigs caused by Streptococcus suis. For the first time, he conducted a study of genes related to pyroptosis on the extraction of total RNA from an infected culture of the cells of endothelial microvessels of the brain of the white mice and subsequent transcription in the complementary DNA. The content of protein in the supernatant of infected cells was determined experimentally. Molecular genetic method for detection cytokinase released by infected cells have developed experimentally. For the first time, he has investigated the stages of pyroptosis development in endothelial cells of brain microvessels infected by Streptococcus suis type 2. In the introduction of the dissertation, the author subtained in detail the relevance of the conducted research, taking into account modern knowledge in the topic to which the dissertation is devoted, clearly defines the objective and subject of research, lists the research method used by her, objectively highlights the scientific novelty and the practical significance of the obtained data. Determine the personal contribution, indicate the place and period of approval of scientific research and number of publications prepared on the topic of the work. Chapter 1, literature review on the topic, the choice of research direction is informative and analytical, corresponds to the purpose of the research, writing at a high scientific and methodical level with the use of sufficient number of primary sources. Chapter 2, object and the method. The author substantiated the object and the method of the research, stage and condition of conducting experiment. In this section, he presented specific research method, namely molecular genetic polymerase chain reaction in real time, microbiological microscopy, electron microscopy, analytical Western blot method for detection specific protein in cells, immunological ELISA method to detect the expression of individual genes in the cell supernatant, and satisfactory processing of research result. Chapter 3, result of own research, the result of experimental studies conducted by acquiring and presented here. The materials of this part of the dissertation work are presented in the form of 10 subsections. The conclusion consists of 6 points, contain concise information about the result of the research and structured according to the task is set in the dissertation stem from the result of own research and are based on the experimental data presented in dissertation. Proposal for production are proposed by the dissertation student properly designated and documented. So, in general, this section is presented professionally, competently, and characterizes the dissertation as comprehensively prepared and erudite scientist. And discussion clauses and remarks to the dissertation. Given overall assessment of Luy Minchen's dissertation, is it necessary to point out some indefinite shortcomings, inconsistencies, and also ask some debate questions that need clarification. What are recounting for the cell RNA extraction? What is the satisfaction of fluorescent quantitative ST-virus? What factor can affect the result of Western blot? What's the difference between LDIH method and CCKH method? What's the difference between scanning electron microscope and transmission electron microscope? Why are the mice cells being tested instead of the pig cells? About epidemiology of Streptococcus suis and public health impact of Streptococcus suis. Grammatical errors caused by invitation to computer typing, some incorrect expression, etc., should be included among other shortcomings in the dissertation. On page 8 are indicated virulence factor of Streptococcus suis, but not abbreviation, are listed in the list of abbreviation. The work is not without stylistic flaws, however, the above mentioned remarks are not fundamental and do not reduce the overall position, assignment, the scientific significance of the dissertation work Luy Мінчень. General conclusion. Luy Мінчень does experimental research of the pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection, which was submitted for defense to the specialized scientific council for obtaining the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field 21 veterinary with a specialty 211 veterinary medicine, according to the its relevant scientific and theoretical level, main result of validity, main provisions and the results published in professional publication, the novelty of the proposal and its practical significance meet the requirement of the Ministry of Education and Culture of Ukraine, Order number 40 of January 2017, on approval of a requirement for the preparation of the dissertation and resolution of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine of January 12, 2022, number 44, on approval of the award producer degree of Doctor of Philosophy and annulment of the decision of the one-time specialized academic council of the Institution of Higher Education, scientific institution on awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with change introduced in accordance with resolution of the Cabinet of Ministers number 341, dated 21 of March 2022. Official opponent, Olena Айшпур. Thank you for your attention.
Дякую. Наразі надається можливість здобувачів відповісти на зауваження, які були викладені у відгуку шановного офіційного опонента. Люй, please, you are given the opportunity to respond to comment that have been posted in the review. Please.
Okay, some of the questions has been asked before, so I will choose 3 of them to answer. Okay.
For cell
What are the
RNA extraction?
what are the precautions? What are the precautions for cell RNA extraction? Okay. When we do the the RNA extraction, we must so firstly, because it's very the RNA of the RNA is very easy to degrade, so we must do it. Firstly, we must do it very quickly. Also, it should be low temperature. Generally, we always do it on the ice, ice a lot of ice blocks, and we do it on the ice blocks. And also, we will use some detergent which must be RNA free. Otherwise, it will contaminate the RNA. And also the except the detergent, also the some other things should be treated by some special things to treat it, to make sure the RNA won't be contaminated. Okay, next question: what factors can be affect the results of Western blot? Okay, well, when we do in fact, the Western blot is quite it takes quite a long time to do the whole procedures. So it has lots of factors which will affect the result. So there are mainly several factors. Firstly, the protein content can't be too low. Otherwise, the band won't be very clearly. The band won't be very clearly. Also the pH value of the gel must be accurate. So some of them is 6.8. Some of them is 8.8. Must be very, very accurate. Otherwise, you can't get the result of what you want. And also the electrophorus buffer must be fresh. If you use it if you use the buffer which is already have been used several times, maybe also will affect the result. Another is the primary content must be the monoclonal antibody. If you use a polyclonal antibody, because polyclonal antibody is not pure, so when you do it, you will get a lot of unspecific band. It will get a lot of unspecific band. If we use if the primary antibody is a monoclonal antibody, so the band must be very specific. Okay, and okay, that's the answer for that question. Okay, the next question is, what's the difference between scanning electron microscope and transmission electron microscope? Okay, firstly, the structure of them are different. The structure of them are different. The TEM sample is in the middle of the electron beam, and the SEM sample is at the end of the electron beam. And the second difference is TEM observe the internal structure of cells, and the SEM observe the surface structure of the cells. Okay, that's the answer for this question. That's all the questions. That's the questions. That's the answers.
Олена Євгенівна, are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, I am satisfied.
Сенс. За регламентом роботи спеціалізованої вченої ради переходимо до дискусії дисертаційної роботи Люй Мінчена. Наголошую на тому, що у дискусії мають право взяти участь усі присутні члени вченої ради. Тому прошу, хто має бажання, висловитись з приводу даної роботи. Прошу також всіх зауважити в кінці промови, чи будете голосувати ви за чи проти щодо присудження наукового ступеня доктора філософії за результатами захисту дисертаційної роботи. According to the rules of work of the Specialty Academic Council, we brought to the discussion of Люй Мінчен. I require that all present members of the Academic Council have the right to take part in the discussion. Therefore, I ask who want to speak out about this work. Хто хоче розпочати, please,
Let me start. As we have seen and heard, this dissertation and the author of dissertation, Люй Мінчень, conducted a lot of scientific work on the high scientific level. He mastered a big range of scientific investigations methods, including electronic microscopy as well. He knows how to plan and how to achieve some goals, and I think the recipient is worth of awarding the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Veterinary Medicine. I will vote positively as yes. Thank you.
Please, Lydia Mikhailовna. Thank you. I support the result of Люй Мінчень research. The questions of the study of the pathogenesis of streptococcal infections in veterinary and human medicine is relevant today. The dissertation studied logical and confidently presented the material of the present dissertation research. The work is an independent scientific study and meets the rigorous requirements for evading the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, and Люй Мінчень deserves to be evading the educational and scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge, 21 veterinary medicine, with the specialty 211 veterinary medicine. Thank you. Sense. Please, Віталій Вікторович.
Thank you. I would like to note the relevance of dissertation, which is relevant not only for Ukraine, but also for the whole world. It is felt that dissertation also has an easy and thorough command of the material. I will vote positively. Yes. Thank you.
Sense. Please, Олена Євгенівна.
Dissertation is professionally, competently, and characterizes the philosophy doctor student as erudite future scientist, and answer positive.
Okay, sense. And my short speech for discussion. Люй Мінчень dissertation work has significant scientific and practical side effects. The paper presents the experimental justification of pyroptosis as the finale of the pathogenesis process of meningitis and streptococcus infection of pigs caused by Streptococcus suis. During the research, the asked use modern method, thanks to which reliable research results we obtained. Люй Мінчень dissertation experimental study of the pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection meets the requirement of the order of the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine in terms of relevance, scientific and theoretical level, main results of validity, main provision of results published in the journal, professional publication, the novelty of the logic and practical significance. The content of the dissertation corresponds to passport of the specialty. I believe that a doctor student has the right to be awarded the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the specialty veterinary medicine before the defense. I will vote in favor and awarding a graduate student with the education and scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Шановні члени спеціалізованої вченої ради, запрошую також виголосити свій відгук шановного наукового керівника професора Оксани Іванівни Косян. Будь ласка.
Dear colleagues, let me send official reviewers and official opponents and head of the specialist academic council Людмила Владимировна for holding today's dissertation defense. Thank you very much. The Люй Мінчень dissertation has unique results of studying pathogenesis of Streptococcus infection, and I would like give a short characteristic my PhD students during the study of postgraduating. He was active, he was conscientious, he activity, publication, his results, and in my opinion, Люй Мінчень is a scientist. I ask the members of Specialized Council to support my PhD student, Люй Мінчень, and make a positive decision on awarding him a scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in specialty 211 veterinary medicine. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, dear Оксана Іванівна. Якщо немає заперечень, то пропоную закінчити обговорення. If there are no objections, I suggest ending the discussion. Нами попередньо було розроблено проєкт рішення спеціалізованої вченої ради, тому дозвольте його мені зачитати. Спеціалізована вчена рада Сумського національного аграрного університету, Міністерства освіти та науки України, місто Суми прийняла рішення про присудження ступеня доктора філософії з галузі знань 21 ветеринарія на підставі прилюдного захисту дисертації експериментальне дослідження патогенезу стрептококової інфекції свиней. Experimental research of pathogenesis of Streptococcus suis infection за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. Люй Мінчень 1980 року народження, громадянин Китайської Народної Республіки, освіта вища, закінчив у 2009 році Канадський сільськогосподарський університет, Китайська Народна Республіка, за спеціальністю основи ветеринарної медицини, агрономія, магістр. Аспірантуру закінчив у 2023 році в Сумському національному аграрному університеті Міністерства освіти і науки України в місті Суми за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. Дисертацію виконано у Сумському національному аграрному університеті Міністерства освіти і науки України в місті Суми. Науковий керівник Касьяненко Оксана Іванівна, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор, завідувач кафедри епізотології та паразитології Сумського національного аграрного університету. За матеріалами дисертаційної роботи опубліковано 13 наукових праць, у тому числі 5 статей в наукових фахових виданнях України, 7 тест-доповідей в збірниках матеріалів конференцій, одні науково-практичні рекомендації. Чи є зауваження щодо проекту рішення спеціалізованої вченої ради?
Немає.
Дякую. Переходимо до процедури відкритого голосування. Прошу кожного члена спеціалізованої вченої ради проголосувати і озвучити своє рішення щодо присудження ступеня доктора філософії зі спеціальності 211 ветеринарна медицина Люй Мінченю. Дозвольте розпочати, будь ласка. Я особисто голосую за присудження ступеня доктора філософії, шановному нашому здобувачеві Люй Мінченю. Будь ласка, члени спецради. Прошу Галину Іванівну Ребенко.
Я голосую за.
Дякую. Прошу Коваленко Лідія Михайлівну.
Я голосую за присудження ступеня доктора філософії.
Прошу Уховський Віталію Вікторовичу.
Я голосую за.
Прошу, шановна Айшко Олену Євгенівну.
Я голосую за.
Всім дякую членам спеціалізованої вченої ради. Шановні колеги, оголошуємо результати голосування про присудження Люй Мінчень ступеня доктора філософії, галузі знань 21 ветеринарія за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. За 5 членів ради рішення прийняте одноголосно. Проти немає, утрималися немає. На підставі результатів відкритого голосування спеціалізована вчена рада присуджує Люй Мінчень ступінь доктора філософії з галузі знань 21 ветеринарія за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. Чи є зауваження до рішення спеціалізованої вченої ради?
Ні, немає.
Дякую, колеги. Дозвольте привітати Люй Мінчень з успішним захистом дисертації. Люй, based on the result of the open voting, the Specialized Academic Council of the Sumy National Agrarian University award Люй Мінчень the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field knowledge veterinary with the specialty veterinary medicine. Allow me to congratulate Люй Мінчень and her supervisor with the successful defense of this, as well as to thank the esteemed member of the Council for their activity, participation and discussion. Please, Люй Мінчень. Your speech, please.
Okay.
Final speech, you.
Yes, I have waited for a long time. I'm very pleased to hear it. Thank you very, very much. Okay, thank you for your attention and for your works. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, dear Люй Мінчень. На цьому засідання спеціалізованої вченої ради вважається закритим.